Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Dado. Today's video is about me having a conversation with my gorgeous girls about how they feel about the pandemic, homeschooling, and the fact that schools are finally opening on the 8th of March. This is something that we've done off camera, but I thought it would be a good idea to share with you guys our thoughts as a family. We are very new on YouTube, so please like, share and subscribe. Your support will be very appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, Amina, how do you feel about homeschooling and the whole pandemic?
So at first I was like a bit happy because I actually thought that it would just be like for at home and stuff like that. And so like when it I knew what was happening, I got really like scared and like upset because of the lives that have been lost. And to be honest, it wasn't that fun as well. Like we got to spend time together and everything, but still it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be, or that nice, to be honest.
So what was like the hardest? Like what was really hard?
Probably like the schoolwork, because like I mean it was like the schoolwork was fine, but then like when we would want to ask a question or like answer anything, or like the teacher wouldn't explain it as she would normally do in person.
Right, that's
true. She would mainly say it like, yeah. And then they gave us at the first like lockdown bit, like a while ago, they gave us like so much work to do before we did Zoom calls and like Teams. They just like gave us work for us to do, even if we didn't know like what to do. So then like if we tell anybody, we just like have to like miss out or something.
I know it was quite hard, but I'm not. On the teacher's defense, it was like we were all new to like online schooling, and so the teachers are learning as well to kind of, because it's hard enough to stand in the classroom and teach 32 kids or 30 kids or whatever, but it's really hard to do it all online and then make sure that you guys are all engaged and everything like that. So how do you feel about going back to school now? Because obviously currently you're going to school, so how do you feel about going back to school, as obviously because I'm a key worker, so you guys get to go to school? Like, what's the difference? How do you feel?
So I feel better that I'm at school because it's like more like I actually do stuff and I'm not always on my iPad and stuff like that, and I actually have a routine, and instead of like just like putting clothes on in the morning, then just or like staying in the bed till like 5 minutes before my lesson starts. But then at school it's like, because some of my friends are there, so I was like I can see them, and I'm not always on electronics.
You're not always on your electronic, and I think you feel like you've got a routine, so you can get up in the morning, put your uniform on and then go to school. And it was less people, so it's like a small group, and I know you miss your friends, but how did you feel about the small group? Like, because you're there, was it easier?
Easier, yeah.
Was it easier because you're in small groups? Okay. Right, Amina, how do you feel about the Prime Minister's announcement yesterday about school reopening on the 8th of March?
I'm so excited because like now I see all my friends, and like I've got so much tests coming up, so they're gonna be better in the classroom, and I'm really happy about the announcement, and I'm sure everyone else will be happy as well. Because instead of being in your room, you like actually outside sometimes at break and lunch, and then you have like food to eat, like instead of just bringing a sandwich or something.
Hot food, it's gonna be like, yeah, I totally understand. Me and you had this conversation like literally all the time about, obviously we talk about how we feel and how hard everything's going, and it's just the anxiety level, and because I think it's really tough for you guys to be literally, it's a big transition, it's a big change for every child, and I know every parent will agree with me on this one. It's from sitting in the classroom with all your friends, just normal life, to kind of like going into the four wall of your bedroom or into your living room and literally be in front of a computer from 9 till 3 or 3:30. Is absolutely like, I'd like all the young people, all the children and young people out there, you guys have done so well. I struggle with homeschooling a lot, and I work in education. So I struggle with it because I'm a single mom of 3, So to keep them all going, to keep them motivated, and I mean, I felt like you guys, you and Alicia were like all right, because like not all right, but I felt like I don't have to worry too much about you guys because you get on with it. But Azara, it's like I super struggle with her because the motivation, what do? We've done lesson in the garden, we've gone out, so you know, it's
same
just
thing, like walks and stuff, instead of like going out to somewhere else.
But we've done that a lot, didn't we? Like we've done walks. You guys have learned how to cook. You've baked. I feel like parents, as a parent, I feel like we have run out of ideas of what to do with you guys, because I felt like everything that we do now, like we've done it before. So it's like just repeating it in a different way. Thank you, Amina. Right, Azara, how do you feel about the pandemic and homeschooling?
Well, it was quite hard at first, and I just had to keep on going. So I was trying my best, and I was doing TT Rockstars and reading and doing my work on paper, but it was really hard because I couldn't see my friends anymore, and I just felt lonely.
That's quite sad, isn't it? Because you did not like every time Azara said, I said, when am I going to school? And I said, it's it's coronavirus. I hate coronavirus. Like you always say that. But then you started going to school, didn't you? So how do you feel about going back to school? Because mummy is a key worker, so you guys get the chance to go back to school. How did you feel when you went back?
I felt quite nice because I got to see 2 of my friends.
Yeah.
And that was fun too.
And that was good. And then you get to do all your work at school, because you kind of struggled with homeschooling, didn't you? You didn't like it at all, because mummy was really struggling with you to kind of get you going. But you did a lot of writing, didn't you? Like when we go out and then we come back and then you write about your day. So that was quite good.
Also, when I was at school, we wanted to like, we were learning about history.
Yeah.
And then we were doing like roundhouses and like 4 houses, like roundhouses and stuff, like in the Roman times.
Oh right, yeah.
And if it wasn't for coronavirus, we would have actually gone to one to see.
Oh, you would have actually visited one.
Yeah, and like make one.
Oh. So yesterday, you know how we were talking about the Prime Minister's announcement about school fully opening on the 8th of March. How do you feel about that?
Very, very, very happy, because I get to see all of my friends. We get to do like proper actual PE, and we might like get to like open like there's these bars that we're allowed to use, I used to use in gymnastics, and it's so fun because like on one of them, like the ladders, it's like wavy, so you can like move it and stuff, and it's really fun.
Good. So I'm quite excited that school's opening, and obviously we're going back to normal. You guys are going to have a routine. We're going to wake up in the morning and go. Obviously, coronavirus is still very much alive and is still on, but at least you guys will get a little bit of a normality going. So you can get to see your friends, and you can, because when you spend time with your friends, it does make you feel better, doesn't it? Because you've got your family and then your friends, and then you can see all your teachers and everyone else. Yeah. Okay? Thank you so much for doing this chat with me. Right, hi Alicia. How do you feel about homeschooling and obviously the pandemic?
Well, at first, like last year, like when it first came out, it was a bit hard to like accustom to and stuff, because it's nothing like we've been before. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. I feel like it was really hard. And with schoolwork, it was also hard because it wasn't like online like video calls. It was just they'd set the work, and by the end of the week you had to have it done whenever you did it. So I didn't really like that. So yeah, at first it was really hard, but I guess later on you kind of got used to the situation. So yeah.
So what's the most challenging part of homeschooling? Like you did say a little bit that it was hard at the beginning because teachers just set the work and then expect you to do it. But then later on, it was obviously changed to life lesson every single day. So you have to be ready for like 9 o'clock, be in front of your iPad or your laptop or whatever you use, till like, obviously you have to follow your timetable from 9 till 3. So with the whole homeschooling and the whole pandemic, what are the challenges for you? Like what was the hardest, apart from like
School?
Yeah.
Well, if I do say one thing about school, I feel like the work they set, because it was like when you're learning new stuff, you don't have someone sat there in front of you to explain it. So I had to always go on the internet and find out things before I could actually do the work, because I didn't understand. And then with the whole pandemic in general, I feel like the hardest part was knowing that, like, I think it was just like how many people were dying and how many people were getting it, and it was just like the total was going up and up. And then we were in and out of lockdowns and we literally couldn't see anyone. We couldn't do anything. I think it was just like really hard on everyone. Emotionally on everyone, just to know that there are people out there who just lost people. So I was trying to like be really close with family, because I was just getting really scared about it.
Yeah, because obviously I'm gonna add a little bit onto that with the like you said, like anxiety and not knowing what was happening, because I really struggled with anxiety. My anxiety level was off the roof at the beginning of the pandemic, because I was just overwhelmed with sadness. It was just, I didn't have the knowledge of, obviously I didn't understand what was happening. It was just a big change for everybody. Like the death rate for me was just a thing for me. Like it was just shocking. Like I would put the telly on and then it'd be like the amount of people that died and the amount of people that are getting infected, and we didn't know what was happening. It was just a very confusing time for all of us, and for me that didn't help, because I was so anxious and my anxiety level was up, and you kind of picked that up. So it makes you even worry more, because you rely on me as a parent. So I feel like every parent needs to be aware of that. Kids do know, and they do pick up on how we feel. So we just have to just try and be the better version of ourselves in front of our kids. And mental health, like I always have a conversation with you guys about mental health, obviously age appropriate as well, because I'm aware that Azara's like only 8 years old, so I do talk to her about feelings and all of that kind of stuff. That, I mean, it's a biggie, you know. We all struggle with some form of mental health, especially with this lockdown. So I think we just have to carry on being kind to each other. How do you feel about going back to school as a obviously a key worker's child?
I like it, and I do like it because it gives you like some form of structure, because it's like getting back into the routine of going to school again. So that's what I like about it. It is very different because not everyone's there, and you're still doing your lessons online and stuff. So that's the only thing different, I feel like. But overall I feel very kind of happy and stuff.
You know, yesterday about obviously the Prime Minister's new announcement about school reopening again fully on the 8th of March. How do you feel about it?
So I feel like I'm very happy because everything is kind of slowly getting back to normal, and I'll get to see everyone, and the classroom will feel more like a classroom actually, instead of everything. I mean, there are the slight worries that we might have to go back into, I thought that maybe we might have to take a step back and redo stuff, but I feel like with the new vaccine and stuff, I feel like slowly everything's getting better. So I'm happy, but I'm just cautious. That's the only way I can explain it.
Because you were kind of confused yesterday, because you thought that everything was opening like
at once
on the 8th. So I said no, it's only school that's opening on the 8th, and then on the 12th of April the shops will open, non-essential shops will open, and then it'll be like from there on, like everything else will go, like the restrooms will open, and then we're allowed to meet like group, like over a group of 30, I think, from the 17th, I think, I'm not sure. But so basically it's not everything just ramped together, it's just like step by step. But I think they are very careful now because of obviously previous experience. Right, I just hope that parents can pick something up from this video. Obviously me and my kids having a chat about going back to school and how we feel with the whole coronavirus, homeschooling, which is a big change. I mean, parents, give yourself a pat on the back, we've done it. You know, it's homeschooling is honestly one of the hardest things that I've had to do, and I actually work in education, so but it's really sad. It's really tough, especially parents that are doing it alone. So if you are a single father or a single mother like I am, I appreciate you, and thank you to all the teachers who have literally just, it's absolutely daunting and a whole new level of having to learn technology. You've done really well. Our kids are grateful, parents are grateful, because it is from being in the classroom to actually in your living room. And obviously thank you to all the doctors and the nurses, you guys are real heroes. NHS, I mean, everybody really, the supermarket staffs are amazing. So, you know, we can't, as humans, we just have to keep going. I mean, the kindness of how people, what people show to each other, the support, we just need to keep it going, because coronavirus has affected the world. Like, it's not just individual, like the whole, I have not seen anybody who is not affected by coronavirus one way or the other, whether it's your mental health, whether you lost somebody. You know, our heart goes out to anybody who lost somebody during the pandemic, not even to coronavirus, but the fact that you've lost somebody, you can't be in their funeral properly, it's just really sad. And I'm just glad that everything's looking up, like we are going back into normality slowly. It is slow, but you have to be positive. I hope you take some inspiration from this and have a little conversation with your little ones or your teenagers. So anyway, thank you guys for listening, watching. Obviously like, subscribe, as we're new to YouTube, so your support will be well appreciated. Thank you so much. The others have all disappeared, so I've only got my girl Alicia here to close this video with. So thank you so much. Bye.